We want to talk a lot more about what's driving rental prices in New York City and other areas of the country as well. I want to bring in Bess Freedman. She's the CEO of national real estate firm Brown Harris Stevens, where she oversees 50 offices and more than 2,000 agents in 4 states. Thank you so much for joining us.
Nice to see you.
So help us with this, because there's 2 things going on. Rent is going up. Sale prices, though, are flat to, I shouldn't say that's being polite about it, down in a significant way. And so at some point, don't these things start to balance themselves out?
Well, I think right now what you're seeing in the rental market is partially due to the fact that rates have gone up. So buyers have decided not to buy, they want to rent. And I think the pressure is going to stay that way throughout the summer.
And is it partially because also sellers don't want to sell?
Yeah, why would they give up their rates? So they want to stay where they are. And so I think you're seeing a little bit of that. I do think, and Robert and I were talking about this, part of it is due to the fact that companies want people to come back into the office. So they thought they could work from home, but they can't, so they have to rent. We saw 3 guys rent an apartment, a share downtown, sight unseen. And you're seeing a lot of that, and bidding wars in the rental arena.
Because where did these people go before?
Well, that's the bigger question. I mean, you've got office vacancy rates. We look at the latest numbers from Castle. It shows 46% of people in the office on an average day. And yet, you know, the rental market, there are no apartments. So how do you square that?
Yeah, I mean, I do think people are starting to come back in. We're starting to see that it's incremental. And I think little by, first of all, this summer, it's going to be intense. You're not going to get any deals this summer because 80% of leases are done between May and September. So right now we're in the meat of the market. And I think people are in an uncertain time. You know, it's sort of like free, easy money has come to an abrupt stop, as we know. So people feel comfortable renting right now because it's
Is there a shift in what people are renting, though? Because the other piece was in a sort of hybrid world, people were looking for bigger apartments, more space, because they thought they were going to have to work from home. In this sort of more hybrid world, do you still need that space for Monday and Friday or not? Or how does that work?
No, I think people are still, I mean, people are renting everything. I think studios, 1-bedrooms, large space. The inventory is getting sucked up and quickly. And so I think people are less inclined to work from home, honestly, Andrew. I think people want to be in the office. We want them to be in the office. It's a good thing for our market and our economy.
And as Andrew mentioned, a lot of this is driven by the tight supply on the sale side. People don't want to sell their apartments. What do you see on the sale market going forward the rest of the summer? Are we seeing prices come down enough to generate more activity? Or is this just going to be like a frozen market where sellers and buyers just are at a standoff because neither are getting the price that they want?
That's the same story with housing everywhere.
But more so in New York.
It depends. You know, New York City, as you said, Andrew, prices have been flat here for a long time, and they continue to be, and the market is somewhat fluid, and we have good inventory. But other places, like Connecticut, like Palm Beach, certain parts of the Hamptons, there is not a lot of inventory, and so demand is high and prices are up. So it's going to take a little time, and we're going to have to see what happens with rates. They're not going down anytime soon. So I think people feel comfortable renting because it gives them the opportunity to be flexible. So, but the market, the housing market is decent. I know people are saying, you know, it's doom and gloom, but we don't see that yet. The numbers have been very good.
Like high-end beachfront is like, it's never been this expensive.
I mean,
like Palm Beach is, or Naples.
Palm Beach, I've never seen anything like it. So many companies have moved there. They call it Wall Street South now. You see Goldman's there. You see Ken Griffin. All these people have moved there, and it's packed, and there's nothing to buy, and there's bidding wars. It's a place where people want to be, and so I don't know how that changes anytime soon.
Different question just about measuring in office, because the in office piece relates then to the residential, both on the rental and ownership side. You said, I think you said 40, or maybe you said 45%.
46%. Yeah, it's the latest data,
Yeah.
What is the data on 2019 in office? Because I remember, I think David Solomon was on our air talking something about the order of, actually, the real number is really only closer to like 70%.
That's that
on any given day,
that's right.
We shouldn't really be measuring 46% against 100%.
Right.
We should be measuring 46% against 100%. Something. Maybe it's 60%, 65%, 70%.
70% is around pre-pandemic, I think, where the numbers were, give or take. So that's what it should be measured against.
But at these prices, the only reason to live in Manhattan is if you are going to the office, right? And so it's surprising to me the idea that you would work from home in Manhattan rather than go there. But that just seems unlikely to me.
But what are we talking? We're talking but
so maybe it's not. You know, maybe the top isn't 100.
Still is not. I mean, maybe if you're living in Manhattan and you're 5, 10, 20 minutes away from your office, but we're also talking about Brooklyn, and we're talking about Queens.
That's right.
We're talking about
and Jersey City rents are way up too.
Right. We're talking about Long Island City. We're all of
everything around New York.
But all of a sudden, if the commute becomes, people talk about now earning your commute. If the commute is not 20 minutes, but it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes, a lot of folks are saying, I mean, the other day I was supposed to do a meeting downtown. It would have taken me half an hour.
Yeah.
The other
Try
guy
the subway.
The other guy
it's
was,
great.
No, I know, but the other guy was going to, I knew him. The other guy was going to take him a half hour. One of us was going to take an hour of back and forth. And we said, screw it. Let's
did a Zoom.
Just do a Zoom.
What's your commute?
And I didn't think that was insane.
But that's more the exception. I think you can do that when it's like the pandemic. We know that we're able to operate if we have to. But there's something about meeting in person. You know what I mean,
I know what you mean, but I think that but there's always going to be these, I don't know if they're edge cases, margin cases, but that could be 25% of the cases. And if you have enough of those, that creates its own new dynamic.
It has an impact. You're right. And we're probably seeing a little bit of that. But part of being in New York City is going out, walking the streets.
Yeah.
You're a New Yorker. It's
not about working here. You would never leave. It's not about working here. It's about being here.
It's about
no, I am here.
I'm not.
Just saying that if
I'm saying I know people who are.
If I could avoid that half hour. Anyway, Bess, thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
I like a parking place, in my driveway.
They have one right across the street.
Trees, grass, dogs, fences.
Central Park. Hello, Central Park.
Central Park, great.
I'm going to share it.
Best backyard in the world, my friend.
Yeah,
you got to pick up your poop.
Take mine.
Right?
Or your dog's poop. Both, actually.